Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Keep singing together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One last time together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. What up, Namaste?
What are you going to do? You play harmonium good, right? Can you follow? Yeah? Who plays Mirdanga? The ladies play Mirdanga? Who's going to play Mirdanga? Can you play? Jai. So, okay, you know how to play, right? Both Mirdanga? Who's playing the Mirdanga? Oh, you play? Okay. All right, so where are we? How long were you singing for? Oh. Okay, so we sing now. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namah. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyabari Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste Nirvisesha Sunyabari Paschatya Desha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Sri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Gopanandi, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Lord Premanandi Rama. Jai Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribol, Nitai Gaura Haribol, Gaura. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Nidai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This Bhagavad Gita, different from many other, perhaps hundreds of versions of Bhagavad Gita, it's called Bhagavad Gita as it is, right? So first of all, the title. The Bhagavad Gita, oops, what happened? Went to sleep. The Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Vedas, as we have been explaining in the last few classes. And it is considered or called sometimes the Gita Upanishad. Are you familiar with the Vedas, right? We discuss somewhat. The Vedas are like the manual for humans to achieve perfection. So when the Vedas become filter, because the Vedas includes everything from architecture to medicine and every single science, medicine, yeah, did I say? Diets and so many things. But the Vedas also bring some essential teachings. And when the essential teachings are there, are called, the section of the Vedas are called Upanishads. And the Upanishads are the most secret, or shall we say confidential. Not everybody's interested in these things, and not everybody can understand these things. And actually, the scriptures also explain that generally to understand the Vedas, it takes at least, how many years? Who remembers? We mentioned last one lifetime, a whole lifetime. You study certain degrees for maybe 6 months, for 1 year, for 3 years, for 4 years, right? That's a full-on degree. Maybe you extend it. You do your master's for another year or two, and then you do your PhD for another 2 years or so. So in total, 6, 8 years, sometimes 10 years, and you become a specialist, a master, a doctorate of some sort. And then you are, an authority, right? But the Vedas actually take a lifetime. Not only a lifetime to study, but also a lifetime to apply. Because what's the point of having ink and paper present in your mind if you're not able to apply them in your life? And the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is that we are able to apply it in our life, and then we have an exam. Like every study has an exam. Remember your exam days? And then we all sweat cold when the exam day comes, yeah? And, sleepless night, and what do you call those? All-nighters, yeah? Like that. So what's the exam in life? You tell me. Death is the final exam. But there are many other exams, right? Any other exams? Any other tribulations that we go through? Examples. Disease, that's a warm-up exam or mock exam, right? What else? Having children. All right. Yeah, that's a big exam. The parents here will attest to it. The different exams that we have in life, or the different tests that we have in life, generally produce something, right? Like when you have exams, you get nervous, you get scared, sometimes you have a headache, or your eyes pain, and like that. What do you think is the result of the exams? At least when you're going through, maybe at the end there is some learning, and you look back and think, oh, it wasn't too bad, or actually that exam was good because it helped me to solidify my learning. What do you think is going on when the exam is taking place? Thank you. Thank you very much for your honesty. And what happens when you suffer? Let's make it real. What happens when you suffer? When you're having, say, imagine, I don't know, toothache, headache, heartache, something like that, stomach ache. What happens? What do you do? You experience pain, yeah. And when you experience pain, what happens? What is the manifestation of that pain? Anybody? You have been there. Come on, don't fake it. We have been there. When you're in pain, what do you do? That is, if you are fortunate. You lament. Yeah? You lament. And that's where the Bhagavad Gita starts. Because when everything is fine, when the weather is fine, when, the interest rates are low, and, and things like that, then we don't bother so much. Life is good. Yeah, that's the saying. Life is good. Lucky country. Australia is called the lucky country, right? So everything is going fine. How do they say here? What's the mantra to meet each other in Australia? No worries, mate. That's what they say. No worries. No worries. Like that. But when pain comes, when the lessons start coming, then we start lamenting. And then when we lament, we don't know what to do, apart from getting a painkiller or something like that, right? Going to the doctor or whatever it is. So the Bhagavad Gita is considered the troubleshooting section of the Vedas. When things go wrong, that's when we have to look for the troubleshooting. Why it's not working? Why it's not starting? Why it's not showing? Yeah? Like that. So in the same way, what everybody wants in life, in general. We have asked this question every single class. So some of you know the answer. So give chance to everybody else. What are we all looking in life for? Peace, happiness, yeah. But what happens when peace is not there? What happens when happiness is not there? I'm meant to enjoy. I'm meant to be happy. I'm a good person. I have loving, friends and family and all that. Why am I suffering? So that's the starting point of the Bhagavad Gita. And that's what's called Upanishad, because otherwise we don't bother. When things are going well, you don't bother. You're not going to go to hospital just for the sake of it. In the morning today, I had to take my wife for an appointment. 7 o'clock, they made us go, wait for 3 hours for some result, some MRI, something. And I was there, and everyone was anxious, and people smoking, and people driving and coming, and everything was very, I was reading Gita. I was hearing Maharaj's class, actually. But we don't bother when things are going fine. So, the Bhagavad Gita starts like that. When you start your car in the morning, right? You turn that key, boom, and everything starts. When you turn on the computer, the whole thing starts. Before that, you don't bother. Nothing is, you need to do something, you need to go somewhere, you need to find someone that helps you with that pain, with that misery. So that's where Bhagavad Gita starts. Arjuna was suffering. He was lamenting. And then he is complaining to Krishna. I have to do this, but I don't want to do it. Have you been in that situation? Sometimes Monday mornings, I call the Monday morning existential dilemma. Have you had those moments, when you have your Mondays to Fridays, and then you're there at 7 o'clock, I remember getting stuck in traffic in Perth or taking the train, and everyone's like a sardine, in that train, and all the freeways are jammed up, yeah? And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I had to do it. I had to work, family, kids, and all, mortgages and all that. By the way, you know what mortgage means in Latin? Mortgage? Huh? Yes! Mortgage comes from mortality. Until you die, you have to pay, okay? Mortgage. So, when we are in those situations and we don't want to do what we are meant to do, that's when Bhagavad Gita gets started. The engine of the Gita starts. Huh? So, Arjuna asked Krishna the first question. I have a question for you. Do animals ask questions? I mean, maybe they don't verbalize it, but do animals ask questions? No? What do you think? I mean, it's not a $1 million question, but what do you think? Yeah? Because I was hearing a class this morning, and it is said that the cognitive capacity, that means the capacity to understand things, it's only allocated to humans. However, as we can understand, and sometimes Srila Prabhupada, the author of this book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, he sometimes says, when you hear the birds in the morning, very beautiful, right? Where are you from? Brisbane, okay, so still beautiful. But this is paradise, yeah? In the morning, the birds, they're whistling and very beautiful, very poetic. But you know what they're singing, right? They don't sing out of tune. We were joking with one friend. Have you heard a bird goes out of tune? Everyone has its own pitched tune like that. And Prabhupada used to say, what question are they asking? Who knows? The birds, yes. What question are they asking? But they are talking to each other, right? And then the other one replies, and some other color bird, they sing another tone. It's like an orchestra. You can see down there, do you know? You know what question they're asking? They are talking to each other. You know what question they're asking? Where is the worm? Where is the insect? Have you seen some? Yeah, I think I saw somewhere there by there, sure, yeah. So, although it appears very poetic, the reality of this material world is that everyone is looking for something, right? And it's not as it seems, as beautiful and poetic and picturesque like it looks externally. So the point is that when we are lamenting, we want answers. So Arjuna asked Krishna, and that's what I was mentioning, that the power of asking question is, or the capacity to ask question is, that you exercise your human capacity, right? Otherwise, the dog or the cat may be thinking, where's my food? Where is my master? When are they coming to feed me or to bring me inside the house? Very basic. That's, very low level. But man, or humanity for that matter, are able to ask questions. And the Bhagavad Gita explains 3 main questions. I don't want to torture the ones that have heard it because we say it every time. So we're going to do something else. But what are those questions? Just for reminding ourselves. Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 sections, and there is a question for each of the 6 chapters of the Gita. How many chapters, Bhagavad Gita? How many chapters? 18 chapters, 700 verses, divided into 6 chapters each section. And there's 3 questions. That's the only 3 questions the Vedas explain that we need to ask to achieve perfection. And if we know the answers, according to the Vedas and according to the Gita, then we achieve perfection, right? So what are those 3 questions? Who remembers? Virginia? Who am I? That's the first section, yeah. The second section, where do I come from? And what is the third section? Where am I going? Very important, huh? Especially if you're traveling by plane, right? What's your identity? They ask the immigration officer, right? Where are you coming from? And where are you going? Very simple, super simple. Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita, actually, I was going to take you through some of the points that are mentioned here. The Bhagavad Gita presents the first section. The first section is all about you. I think we mentioned this point last week. That if somebody writes a book about Tom, right? You would like to read that book, would you? Maybe. You don't want to hear your own story. Yeah. So the first section of the Bhagavad Gita is about you. The first point that the Gita mentions is, who are we? Huh? And who are we not? Right? Can I ask a few silly questions? Are you blue? Are you blue? Is that you? Don't tell me your name is blue. Your shirt is blue, right? But you're not blue. You're doubtful. The color of our clothes, right? Or our clothes themselves do not determine who we are. Yes or yes? Correct? So the same thing in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the first analogies that it's given is that we are not the body. We are not the body. Right? We are not the cloth. So we are not blue or whatever color we are using. So in the same way, the body is compared to a set of clothes. And how many sets of clothes have we had? We don't remember, right? But we're changing clothes all the time. So in the same way, we're changing bodies all the time. That's the science of reincarnation. Reincarnation means, in Latin and in Spanish also is easy to understand, reincarnate means that you become covered by flesh again. Karna or carne in Spanish means flesh. So reincarnate means that you go within the flesh, clothing kind of thing. Yeah, that's what reincarnation means. So the Gita's first lesson is who we are. And then the second lesson is, what is the second lesson? Bhakti Shastri students. No. We're in first section. First is identity. The second one is? We're in first section, no second section. First teaching of the Bhagavad Gita is identity, right? I'm not the body. The first instruction of the Gita is we are the body, identity. The second instruction is what are we meant to do? what is my real identity, my passport. My second identity is what sometimes in passports, I don't think in Australian passport. Sometimes I get confused with different passports that we have had. But in some passports, there's occupation. Have you seen? The Indian passport used to have occupation. I don't know if it still has occupation. Occupation. You know, Prabhupada's passport used to say occupation. You know what was his occupation? Guess. Teacher. Teacher. Yeah. Teacher. It says teacher only. I don't know if it says acharya. Maybe. Yeah. So, that's my identity, right? My name, date of birth, da-da-da. What do you do? So first is identity. Second instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, what is your duty? I may ask, what's your occupation? And you say, I am a student, or I am a accountant, or I am a whatever it is. You are. So the first section teaches us about who are we? What are we meant to do? What are we meant to learn? What are we meant to feel? I asked before, what is that everyone is looking for? And then you say peace, happiness, etc. So what is that? Or how can I feel in a spiritual way something that is permanent, right? The typical concept of a party, right? You can cover your ears because you're from India, so you're very advanced. But in the West, what is the concept of a party? First of all, how long does it last? No. How long a party lasts? All night. All night long. Okay. A few hours, right? And then we were supposed to enjoy, etc. So we know what happens after the party, right? Remember, we have a Govinda's in Perth that is just next to the main area of the city. And then on Friday's night, when we're closing the Govinda's, around, 7:30, 8, everyone is already, the party has started. Everyone is, what they're doing, drinking and having fun and etc., being loud, etc. If you happen to come the next day, Saturday, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you know what is there. Police is there, ambulance is there, right? I'm not being dramatic, that's real. So, the Bhagavad Gita teaches us how can we feel happiness or bliss in a way that it's permanent, that doesn't last just a few hours, but it's permanent. You don't need to get drugged or intoxicated to feel joyful. It's something that happens within ourselves. So the Gita presents that. How can we be internally peaceful, satisfied, joyful? That is the message of the first 6 chapters of the Gita. And in the middle section, the Gita explains how can we be connected with our source. You are from Brisbane, right? Where are you from? Finland, all the way from Finland. This is an international society for Krishna consciousness, right? So if I say, okay, when are you going home? If I ask, Finland or Brisbane or wherever you are from, Brisbane, right? You will say, in a couple hours, in a couple days, in a couple months, or whatever it is. So you're going back to where you came from. Does that make sense or not? It's normal, right? So in the same way, spiritually, it is important for us to know where do we come from. Guess what? Because at the time of death, when we are meant to leave this body, that's where we are meant to come back to. Does that make sense? Right? Thank you. So, the final section of the Gita tells us about our destination. Where are you going? And sometimes we do this exercise and we ask, if I would give you a free ticket, where would you go? Right? And some people say, Japan, I think. Somebody said, you said Japan sometime before, right? Different people, Greece or Italy or Fiji or Hawaii or some island or some far out place like that. But in reality, any place that you would like to go, and doesn't matter how much fun would you have, how beautiful the place is, perfect weather, everything goes fine, it has to end. Yes or yes? It has to end, isn't it? Doesn't matter if it's the ideal, perfect holiday, getaway, one of those names, it has to end. Yes? It has to end. So wouldn't it be intelligent to, if we have the chance, to go to a place where the fun, the joy, the pleasure doesn't have to end? Yeah? Right? That's an intelligent thing. I mean, just by formulation, by logic. I would like to go to a place where things don't have to end. Because even the best relation, the best situation, it has to end. So, using our human capacity, cognitive capacity, to understand things, we would like to have some location that it's eternal, that it doesn't have to end. Who wants to die? Unless you have some serious issues in your mental state, right? Don't ask me about that. You don't want to die. You want to live. If somebody puts your head, that's what the British used to do for the thieves and criminals like that. If somebody puts your head in a bucket of water, right, what would be your reaction? Huh? What would be your reaction? Huh? Yeah, you fight for life. You struggle. You desperate. You want to get out and breathe. Right? That's natural. In the same way, in this mature world, at some point, the last thing that will be left for us to do is to breathe. And when you cannot breathe, you're gone. Right? But there's something higher than that, something more subtle or deeper than that. And Gita also presents that. The Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, we have a chapter that's called Attaining the Supreme. Right? And attaining the Supreme sounds religious or philosophical or esoteric or too spiritual maybe for me. But another way to understand that chapter, for example, what would be other alternative titles that we can give to chapter 8? That's too advanced. Back to Godhead, how to die, right? Perfection at death, spiritual death, something like that. Far out. So the Bhagavad Gita teaches us not only how to live, but most importantly, how to die. Huh? It sounds a bit contradictory because we don't die. Right? We don't die. You realize that? We don't die. Funerals are just like a mock drama. You know when there's a school drama, right? So sometimes there is this drama, and then you are given a script, yeah? And you have to be Napoleon, and you have to be Tarzan, and you have to be the queen, and you have to be the prince, and you have to be the monster, and you have to be this one, like that. Yeah? There's a drama. And then you are meant to learn your lines, and then you act the drama. Yeah, you're scary, or laugh, or do something like that. That's a drama. Most of us surely have participated in dramas, isn't it? So in the same way, in this material world, we are given a script. And then your script is you're a lady, and you come from China, or you come from America, and you're a man, and you're a business person, and you're an engineer or a doctor, and the problem with that is that you believe that you are the character. I remember, maybe some of you are too young to know this, but there used to be a famous actor, that tells my age, Tarzan. You know Tarzan, right? Tarzan is famous, right? Yeah. The famous main actor of Tarzan, from what I know, I don't know if he's a legend or whatever, he became crazy. He lost his mind. So he used to be in a psych ward on under scrutiny because otherwise he will jump because he's Tarzan, right? Tarzan can jump. And he will hang from whatever curtains or whatever he could. He believed, oh, I am this person. He adopted that persona. Right? He became that. So when we are in this material world, we are thinking, I am this, I am man, or I am woman, or I am fat, or I am tall, or I am this, or I am skinny, or poor, or rich, or whatever. But in fact, according to the Vedas, in general, and specifically according to the Bhagavad Gita, this is just a dream. You had those nightmares where some animal is chasing you, or you're about to go into an accident, or you lost something. Have you had those nightmares? I don't know your nightmares, my nightmares. Right? I was the other day I was dreaming. I generally don't dream, but maybe when I eat too much at night, and I had a nightmare that I was driving a car and the brakes were going, and I was telling my wife, "What do we do now?" And then what happened? Today is what, Monday, Sunday we drove Rupa Raghunath Prabhu's van, and the brakes were going. So I got really scared. I thought, oh, my nightmare is going to become a reality. We're going through the hills somewhere. So sometimes we have these nightmares, but they are just a nightmare. It's just a bad dream. And now we are thinking that, oh, I'm getting old. Oh, this one died. I am originally from South America, from Ecuador. And sometimes I get the news, especially from my mother when I talk to her. Oh, remember auntie something, Like in India you say auntie, but it's not really your auntie, it's just the friend of somebody. It's auntie, right? Everyone's auntie, brother, uncle, right? In India also, right? In South America also we do like. So mom sometimes says, hey, remember about that nice lady, da-da-da? Oh, she passed away, she died, like that. And okay. So I'm thinking, oh, she's not really dead. She just went somewhere else. Yeah? So we're dreaming that this is... And then what happens when we experience the pain or the lessons of life? We lament, right? So when Arjuna went to Krishna and asked him, I'm suffering here. Huh? I have to do this and I don't want to do it. I'm troubled, I'm conflicted. And Krishna says... Why you are lamenting for something which is not worth of lamentation, right? That was basically the first instruction. Asochanam vasochastum pragyabadam chavasase. You're talking like you are so erudite, you are so knowledgeable, but you are lamenting like a fool. Like you don't understand this thing. You are not dying. It's just the body that dies. Why you're lamenting for what's not worth your lamentation? So Krishna presents to Arjuna the point of his identity. And then the second lesson of the Bhagavad Gita is that we need to know what we are meant to do. If you're a father, you're a brother, you're a sister, you're a son, or husband, or wife, or whatever you are meant to do that. Is that correct? Yeah? Is that the correct? Yeah? That makes sense, is it? Right. But there is a trick. If you do those things very dutifully and you're the paka, as they say in India, paka, proper citizen, you pay your taxes on time, and you do everything, as a student, you're a good student, you're an honor student, etc. You do everything right? It's good, it's a good thing, yeah? Correct? We agree? It's a good thing. But there is something wrong with only doing that. I'm not saying that we should be like bombs and anarchists, but there's a problem with that. What is the problem with that? Yeah, if we just do our duty, simply do our duty.
Then you have to either enjoy the highest credits of all your activities,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And again, continue forever.
Yep. Mother Ganga?
Yeah, it's just karma.
Yeah. So imagine being in a jail. Okay? We are in jail now, right? Imagine there are bars and things. And then we're going to play a raffle. Raffle you call? We don't bet. But let's say, right? There's a raffle. And then the prize of the raffle is that you're going to have, I don't know, balloons and ice creams and pizzas and whatever you fancy. Right? So you win the raffle, but what's the problem? That you are still in jail. Right? You are, Prabhupada used to call it, and I think there's a song about it. Anyway, fool's paradise. You are in jail, but you are thinking that you are in paradise. Right? And you go to the party, and you enjoy this, and enjoy that, and get the job, and get the card, and get this, and a super body, and whatever. But you are in jail. So what is the intelligent thing we were saying about the human capacity of asking questions? What is the intelligent thing to do if you are in the jail? Come on, you have to help me here. Get out of jail. You can offer that later, Mate. So because we're in front of the deities, we should not eat in front of the deities. We can do it later. We can do it later. Yeah. So the idea is that when we are in jail, we need to get out of jail. Okay? So the Bhagavad Gita teaches us that in order for us to get out of jail, what do you need? Okay, we finish with this because otherwise you're going to curse me. If you're in jail, what's the best way to get out of jail? You two are not allowed to say because you know the answers because we are studying together. Anyone, just a suggestion. You don't have to have been in jail to know the answer for this. It just makes sense. What do you need to do in order to get out of jail? Serve your time. That can take a long time. Maybe it's a lifetime. Actually, it's a life sentence. But we want to get out from jail quicker than that. How can you? What's that? Dig a tunnel. That's some thinking. Go out the window, but there are bars in the window. What's that? The key. Yes, that's good. If you can get the key, that's it. You can just get out and don't look back. Okay, run. So the Bhagavad Gita gives us the key. And the key, it's not metal. Nowadays, those fancy keys, in plastic and magnetic strip. And then codes and, so she shows something like that, right? It gives us a mantra key. Right? Mantra key. What is mantra key? Man means mind and tra means protection. And in fact, the mantra key means the key that frees your mind because we are in this prison because of the mind. The mind goes to the shop. The young boy or young girl, the teenager, go to the shop and see the candy bar, doesn't have any money. You know what the mind says? Let me have it, and hides it, and then doesn't realize the camera is right there, and the supervisor, somebody's watching. And then when the person is wanting to get out of the shop, they get caught, right? Come here, you rascal. They bring them aside and they give them a hard time or whatever, call the police or call the parents, like that. So we are in jail, not by accident. We are in jail because our mind or the mentality is that I want to take something that doesn't belong to me, belongs to someone else, right? And everything in this material, if you think about this, everything in this material world, right? Just think about that. It's not that you created it. Somebody created it. You wake up in the morning, do you have to do anything for the sun to rise? No? It's there. You go to the beach, do you have to do some, lobbying or some arrangement or something for the beach to be there? No? Somebody made it. The oxygen, you know that you breathe every second or so in your life? Yeah? Have you made arrangements for the oxygen to be there? Like sometimes light goes off? Then, we call somebody or call the electricity company or something, right? Oxygen is there for free. Do you pay oxygen bill? No. Who gave you that? Who gave us that? Right? So we are taking things, right? Even our body. That's why in Vedic system we are grateful to our parents, because they somehow, through their agency, we got this body. But even this body is given to you. Huh? So in this way, the Bhagavad Gita promotes the life with consciousness, that I was given this. Therefore, if somebody gives you, okay, so if I go and somebody gave us some chocolate cake earlier. One of your boys was birthday, and what's his name? Saul, or one of them was, anyway. Yeah, Sack. Birthday. Oh, you want a piece of cake? Okay. Jelly, don't eat. So somebody gives you something, cake or anything else. What is that you say? What is that you do? What's your attitude? If somebody gives you something, thank you. Gratitude. You become conscious, right? This person is so nice. He comes and gives me, or she comes and gives me something. Say thank you. Namaste, namaskar. Right? My respects to you. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us that we need to be thankful. We need to be conscious. We need to be grateful. Thank you. Huh? God, the energy, the universe, Mother Earth, right? You know that you are floating at this point? You know that we are floating? You know? You're floating? Not floating. This planet is floating. Do we realize that? We don't even think. How is it floating? You get some stone and throw it there and try to make it float. It was impossible. Right? But it's floating. Who is doing that? Did you do something about it? No. I didn't do anything. I don't have nothing to do with it. But it's floating. Right? Therefore, the first thing in the Vedic teachings, the first thing that you do when you wake up, what is that you do? You pay respects to Mother Earth, right? Because she's holding us. She's floating by the grace of Krishna, right? So the Bhagavad Gita teaches us these simple lessons. And every day we are able to, since the moment you wake up, even when you dream, till you go to sleep, that this comes from somewhere. This comes from somebody. Right? And I am able to at least express my gratitude. So when Arjuna asked Krishna, I don't want to do this, I'm suffering, I'm lamenting, Krishna told him, don't be such a fool. Huh? Stand up and fight. Why are you lamenting? Life and death is just like a dream. You don't have to worry too much. We're such a big deal. Right? I remember perhaps one of the first funerals that I went for one of my teenage friends, and in the Christian tradition or Catholic tradition, when somebody dies, now cremation is a little bit more popular. In those days, it was just the casket, the coffin, and that's it. So I remember we were standing with a bunch of friends, and the casket, the coffin was being put in, right? And everyone's crying, and some of the girls were fainting, and we were maybe 17 or something like that. And there was a friend of mine that I didn't know at that time, but he was going to the temple, right? He was standing next to me, and everyone's saying, oh, my friend, crying, touching, the thing was going on. And once you put the box in, then you seal it. And then you put plaster, and that's it. They put some flowers, everyone cries, da, 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 and then like that. And my friend murmured in my ear, he says, he's not dead. He said, he's not dead. I said, shut up, mate, come on, be respectful. And he said, he's not dead. He's just gone elsewhere. I said, what are you on? Like, shut up, don't talk like that, at least be respectful. Sometimes teenagers, they play pranks and they are foolish on purpose. And he said, no, he's not gone. He's not gone. And he was, kind of dead set in his conviction. He was clear. He's not dead. Just gone for some time. Oh, that was a gift. Some biscuits for everybody. Some firelighters. So this is the message of Krishna. You can live a good life, but better than living a good life is to have a good death. That doesn't sound too appealing, is it? Make the most. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to make the most of this life. Susukam kartumavayam. Very happy, very joyful. And at the end, Krishna says, come back to me. When there is no death, there's no taxes. No, he doesn't say that. But there's no death, there's no suffering, no old age, no disease, no wars, no nothing like that. Just pure joy. That's what we all want. Whenever you go to a holiday, remember this. So to ruin your holiday, right? How long this is going to last. Now you had that experience when you go for holidays and then you spend so much money for 2-3 weeks. Yeah, travel here, travel there, pay here, pay there, right? Holidays means you're going to spend 10 times more than what you normally pay. You know, you want to drink something at the airport, it's 10 times more expensive. Everything is so expensive, right? So not only your pocket hurts, right? But then you're tired because, you know, it's not your bed and the pillow is different and the flight is all, nowadays, you know, all these cheap flights and it's like a bus, you know, you're like there and your neck hurts. And then sometimes, you know, we went traveling with my wife for a few weeks and we were thinking, I just want to go back home. It's so comfortable. So in the same way, spiritually, we just want to go back home. And once we're able to go back home, not a problem. Everything is going to be happy and easier forever. This is just like a bad dream. So these are some of the points the Bhagavad Gita presents. We have a few minutes, or if anybody has a question. This is the pyramid or the mountain of the Bhagavad Gita. The first section is all about you. The top section, the middle section is about Krishna, the source, the supreme, the absolute, right? And the last section is how to escape from this prison house, okay? So we have Bhagavad Gitas for you. You can give a donation. I don't know exactly, Mother Ganga, she's the person of the collection here. And how much are they? 15, 20, something like that? Okay. So we have Bhagavatam, we have books, so please take one book, make your life perfect. Okay, so we stop here, we have just a few minutes. Any questions, any points that maybe we should elaborate a little bit on? Any questions? Please.
Thank you.
Haribo.
Would you say Bhagavad Gita is the only key to get out?
The question is, for those online, the question is if the Bhagavad Gita is the only key, right? Is the only key. First of all, let's understand what Bhagavad Gita is. Bhagavad Gita is not a sectarian book, is not a book from some religion, or a Hindu book, or a spiritual book, or a yoga book. Bhagavad Gita, Gita means song, and Bhagavad means the supreme source, the supreme Lord. Bhagavad Gita, it's a concept. And the concept is mentioned in chapter 17, in the last few verses. And in that chapter, Krishna presents the key, right? The key of this prison house. And what is that key? It's comprised, as I said, it's not made of metal, it's not made of plastic or anything else. The key is given in mantra, and the mantra is in Sanskrit, Om Tat Sat. Last verses from chapter 17. But when we read the explanation of those three mantras, Om Tat Sat, it means that we acknowledge that there is a supreme owner of everything, manager of everything, enjoyer of everything, and benefactor of everyone. And when you acknowledge that, then you're free. As simple as that. So Bhagavad Gita explains that. There might be other texts or other lines or other traditions. I mean, sometimes even in the indigenous cultures around the world, there is that sense. What they call, anthropologists call universal hierarchy, right? There is something higher. I mean, in South America, plenty of these cultures, they will worship the sun or the moon, right? Like in various cultures of South America, many of these indigenous tribes, they would have respect, they will worship, they would have adoration for something higher than them, right? Now, the Bhagavad Gita is from A to Z. It's explained exactly who we are, where do we come from, and where are we going, and how to get there. It's not just theory, it's practice, practical thing, right? Now, there might be other indications of that in other literatures or in other lines, but in the Bhagavad Gita is as it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is. So, it's everything condensed in just 700 verses, 18 chapters, just this book. The key is as it is right there. Okay? So, in one sense, yes, but it's not exclusive because, as I said, in other texts or in other traditions, aspects of that concept might be presented also partially. You know, sometimes when you get those keys that some cheap, what do you call those guys who make we have the chabiwala in India. The locksmith, you know. In India, sometimes some fellows come and they just do a lousy work, and then you get the key and the key doesn't work, you know. And it's like, damn it. Have to go and chase him, you know, across the river. So the Bhagavad Gita key is guaranteed. Why? Because the owner of the house has presented it. Krishna himself is presenting. He says, I arranged for this, I am the owner of you and everything else. Believe me, just follow this, surrender it unto me, turn this way, turn that way, open. Now if you want to try here and there, okay, that's also there. You know? But the Bhagavad Gita, for sure, it's guaranteed. That's the explanation. Thank you. Any other question? You ask your questions, otherwise I'm going to ask questions. Any questions? Any points? Bhagavad Gita. No? Tom? No questions? You always have good questions. So, it's a good start to, first of all, begin our day thinking of these three questions. What were the three questions? Who am I? Where do I come from? And where am I going? Every day, every morning, that's the questions that we need to ask, right? Because there will be a time when the exam, when the exam is about to come, and then you haven't studied for the exam. You have those moments, do you remember? The exam was coming and, damn, I didn't study that much, right? And you were struggling. So then you have to remember, what was the question? Remember in the exams they give you a list of questions and then you study all the questions. These are the three questions. So we need to find the answers. And where do we find the answers? Very simple, in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Who we are, where do we come from, and where are we going? Confirmed. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. I don't know what happened here. Krishna Kirtana Anana Prema Metambo Dira Dira Jana Priya.
Ki